Hello everyone, Simon Keeling here. Thanks for watching weatherweb.net. As you can see, back in the office now on Wednesday the 5th of December. Thanks again for watching weatherweb.net, and as always the site's kept free of charge because of the adverts that you see around the screen here. So thank you for coming back to the site, for using the site. It's that keeps it free of charge, and by you telling your friends and then coming and using the charts and the site and the adverts, that's what makes it just be able to stay free of charge. So thank you for doing that. Okay, got some interesting weather taking place over the next few days. Big question mark still for next week, not in terms of how the pattern develops, because it looks like high pressure is going to come in and we're going to be getting some east and northeasterly wind. The question mark is how cold it actually gets. Evidence from the models suggesting it could get very cold, but I still have this kind of question mark over it. To me, it still seems a few days early, but I'll go through that in just a moment with you. Let's just look at the next few days first of all. This is the chart for today. And what it shows is low pressure out in the North Sea. We've got this cool northerly winds, brought quite a bit of ice around this morning. Some showers down these eastern coasts as well, those wintry through the course of this afternoon, but generally for many inland areas it'll be dry. Now, during tonight we're going to find skies clear. Temperatures really are going to be falling away rapidly during this evening. A widespread severe frost developing, particularly I think the Midlands, Northern England into Scotland, widely -4 to -6 for a time, and probably -6 central parts of Wales, southwestern parts of England as well. But then we find cloud increasing from the west ahead of a front that's coming in, and it's that feature here that comes into the west of Scotland during Thursday morning. Now into Thursday afternoon, that feature will be spreading eastwards. A widespread severe frost across eastern parts of England, -6, -7 possible, I would say, across parts of the far south east. Then we find this feature coming in. Now, of course, it's coming into colder air, so it is going to be turning to snow over the high ground of Scotland. And then as it tracks eastwards through Thursday afternoon and into Thursday evening, look, it brings snow to the high ground of northern England. I think at low levels we're talking about rain, but it will be windy too. Look, you can see the winds there quite strong around it. And then during tomorrow evening it clears away to the southeast. Now, the big question mark here becomes what happens on the back edge of this feature, because as it comes southeastwards, you can see here that we get an intensification of precipitation just following in behind. That's more a trough that comes in. Now, the problem is that this area here could then turn into snow. Then, as the area of rain clears away down to the southeast during the early hours of the morning, colder air gets entrained behind it. So what it could do is it could bring some snow, a covering of snow to low levels across northern parts of England, and then probably a covering of snow over high ground of the Midlands and Wales, but perhaps one or two flakes even at low levels. Quite windy too, with a northerly wind getting in, but I think very little snow really at low levels. I think really it is going to be over high ground, but it's just worthwhile noting that it is going to be there in quite a windy feature as it moves eastwards. And then through Friday it clears away to the south. Got to watch this over East Anglia. That could produce some sleet or even some wet snow, even at low levels, as temperatures just leach away as that feature clears away. But I don't think any problems at the surface. And then for many it looks as if Friday is going to be a bright, cold, breezy day. Some showers though for the east and for western coasts. Then overnight into Friday, still some wintry showers affecting eastern coast of England. Elsewhere should become drier and clearer, and I think sharp frost developing as the skies clear. Then through Saturday morning, cloud and rain moving into the north of Scotland, but for most it's a frosty, bright start to the day. Could be some fog patches around as well, but they'll be clearing away. And then I think most of the day, as I say, is cool, with some cloud across northern parts of Scotland, elsewhere generally quite bright. And then overnight into Sunday, well, we find some outbreaks of rain moving through Scotland, northern parts of England, northern parts of Ireland. Excuse me, those possibly, I should say not rain, it's really showers. Those possibly being wintry over high ground, a frost further south. And then into Sunday itself, well, low pressure tracks down the North Sea. It may intensify wintry showers running down these eastern coasts overnight into Monday. Some wintry showers as well, you can see here, coming onto the west and north coast of Wales and the east and the north coast of Northern Ireland, as well as the west coast of Scotland. So it's kind of these sort of areas that see wintry showers overnight into Monday. And then into Monday proper, well, still some wintry showers coming in onto the eastern coast, but look at this. This is an area of high pressure that's building through here to the west of Scotland. That's the area of high pressure we've got to watch build in, because as this low clears away down to the southeast, look, this ridge of high pressure here is building in. and it's that ridge that then sets us into an easter northeasterly through next week. It brings lots of cloud and some wintry showers down these eastern coasts, perhaps inland to the Midlands and southeast England, blowing through the Channel as well. All of these areas are likely to see some cloud and some wintry showers, but much brighter the further west you go, but it is going to be cool. And then this is the chart as we go into next Wednesday. Look, a northeasterly wind still. You see more persistent wintry showers moving onto these eastern coasts of England, some making it inland, but I think with that wind it is just going to be feeling raw. And it stays there, look, over into Thursday with this east or northeasterly flow. Now, as I said before, this overall evolution, this idea of it going into the east or northeast is accepted. My big problem is, how cold is it actually going to get? Let's just take a look at the 500 millibar flows first of all. This is the mean of the 500 millibar flow running from next Wednesday through to Saturday. And on the left hand side here, we've got the ECMWF. On the right hand side here, we've got the GFS model. And you'll notice British Isles is under here. And notice how both models have above normal heights, look, to the north of the British Isles. Okay, so we can be quite confident that up here we're going to be finding high pressure to the north of the country. Then we've got this trough, look, down to the south. Okay, so we've got below normal heights here, so again we can be fairly confident this is low pressure down to the south. So the flow, we can be happy, is coming in from the northeast. What we can't be quite so convinced about though is how cold it's going to get. This is the temperature chart from the GFS for London in a short range, and you notice how, look, from sort of the 8th onwards, so this is, when are we looking at here? We're looking at sort of Saturday onwards. Look, minimum temperatures, the blue line here, generally staying below freezing, but maximums still bouncing along at sort of 4 or 5 degrees. Okay, so the maximum still bouncing along at 4 or 5 degrees. You look at the ECMWF, and this shows a real steep temperature plunge, look here. So it's shown us that around about the 10th. So it's picking up on that on Monday, and then look, those temperatures just plummet away. This is the 850, so this is about 5,000 feet in the atmosphere. But look, they're getting down to a bitterly cold 850 temperature of -9 degrees. Okay, and at 850, that's a really cold temperature to be witnessing. So we've got to decide, what do we do here? How cold do we go for next week? These are the GFS charts, and just watch what happens. These are 24-hour steps. This is midnight as of last night. This is tomorrow. There we are into Friday. Look, there's our area of low pressure clearing into the North Sea. Here's our ridge. Look, there's the ridge building in the flow. Okay, so this is the ridge building on the 9th. So this is the ridge building midnight on Sunday. There's the area of high pressure below it. Then watch what happens. Look, into Monday we find this low sink south through the North Sea. It then goes into Europe on Tuesday, and we then find this northeasterly flow becoming properly established by the 12th. So this is next Wednesday. And the indications from the ECMWF are that that northeasterly flow stays in place then through until 15th of December. Now, with this area of low pressure being so close to the south of the country, that also raises the big question mark of snow at times coming across the southeastern part of the country. So I think what I'm going to have to do here is accept that my idea of temperatures taking a dip from the 16th, 17th onwards probably is a little too late. I think it's going to come earlier. We're going to have to be looking about the 12th or the 13th. So the northeasterly wind kicking in, temperatures taking a tumble, yes, and the risk of some wintry weather across southern and eastern parts of England. However, what I'm going to say is that we then could find another ridge, look, building out towards the east. If that happens, that will tie up with the ridge up towards the top. It will build high pressure in once again here around the 17th or 18th and bring in another batch of easterly winds. So I'm going to go for this idea of cold next week, and it could be bitterly cold during the middle to the end part of next week, but then taking another hit of cold weather towards the last third of the month from about the 17th onwards. Anything could change. This pattern is evolving all the time. It's an interesting pattern to watch, but it's one that we need to keep our eyes on very, very carefully. And certainly this idea of it going very cold next week, I think, is one that we're going to stick with for a while. So, thanks again for watching. As I said, the WeatherWeb's all kept free of charge by the adverts that you see around the screen. So thank you for coming back, using the adverts, using WeatherWeb and using the charts. And keep the sun shining, get ready to wrap up warm. I think we really are going to need to. Keep the sun shining. Bye for now.